Om Mani Mani Mahamani Shakyamani Soha. Om Mani Mani Mahamani Shakyamani Soha. Om Mani Mani Mahamani Shakyamani Soha. In our current time period, or in this particular eon, or in the 6,000 years that we have been alive in, this section of time is under the rulership of Shakyamuni Lord Buddha. Yahweh has emanated and incarnated as Shakyamuni Lord Buddha, and he has achieved his enlightenment for the 6,000 years by fasting under a tree for 6 years. And Yahweh, our Father in heaven, emanates under Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, and Lord Buddha Shakyamuni is also directly connected to the Kala Chakra Tantra, which is the Wheel of Time Tantra. The Kala Chakra deity is a wrathful emanation of Shakyamuni Lord Buddha. So we are all under the Kala Chakra time wheel influence for the 6,000 time period. And Yahweh has used all of these systems, the Buddhist systems, to correct the error of this 6,000 years that we have been given on this earth. And this earth is also the future home of Yahweh. And this earth is also the future kingdom of the Son of God, who will rule us for 1,000 years after the Great Tribulation. So this earth, this ground itself, our earth, planet Earth, is under a massive spiritual transformation that it is going through, and we are dealing with the duality aspect within the earth system of dark and light, and we are trying to manifest the totality of the light and manifest the totality of the dark, which is the obvious state of the world, which you can directly see with the conditions of the world, that there are really good things happening, such as disclosures, and people are awakening, people are learning the truth, people are seeing through the deception, people are becoming smarter, people are understanding the true nature of the elites and the government. So we have that light aspect there, but then you have the great darkness of wars and pandemics and delusions of the people, and people that are asleep and not waking up. So we have the duality, the dark and light of the population that are waking up and seeing this reality for what it is, and a population that's completely asleep, that's perpetuating the dark aspect of this world. So we have that polarity split in this world that we live in, and duality has been the premise. Duality has been the battle of dark and light premise, and this duality is actually transformed and basically nullified or transformed into zero through the emptiness sunyata knowledge of Lord Buddha Shakyamuni that came down to this earth, who is Yahweh, and realized the wisdom of sunyata and taught the wisdom of sunyata, pragyaparamita, perfection of wisdom, to the whole world. And all of his teachings is available for us on this earth, for us to realize the true nature of this reality, which is sunyata. So in the sunyata level, you transform the duality, you transform the dark and light that we are experiencing in this world. So dark and light are both important facets in our spiritual awakening. You cannot have an awakening, or there will be no need for an awakening if we are not dealing with ignorance, if we are not dealing with darkness. Darkness is ignorance, light is wisdom. That's what it is. So darkness manifests as a result of ignorance. And that ignorance is overcome by wisdom. And ultimately, you have to transform the wisdom and ignorance into sunyata. So wherever you are in your path and in your journey, you have to ultimately get to the sunyata level, which is the Dharmakaya level, and which is also what the Dzogchen Buddhism teaches. Dzogchen Buddhism is about sunyata, is about the Dharmakaya, is about the last step in your spiritual journey. You can directly correlate or correspond to the sunyata knowledge to Yeshua, Son of God, that is described as a deity or a Son of God that has paid for the sins of humanity. Humanity's sins are balanced to zero. And that's what the Christian population understand and know Yeshua, Son of God, as someone that has come here, atoned for the sins of humanity, and balanced our karmic account to zero, basically. So Sunyata directly corresponds to Yeshua, Son of God. So the core work of Yeshua, Son of God, which is atoning for the sins of humanity, balancing our debt, our karmic debt, into zero, that is the core energy or the core essence of Yeshua, Son of God. And you can directly see that connected back to Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, who taught about the emptiness. So the Father and Son, they're both doing the emptiness. So you have the Father that comes down here through his enlightenment and fasting for 6 years, for the 6,000 years time period. He achieves enlightenment, realizes the most subtle wisdom that is zero, and teaches the Pragyaparamita Sunyata wisdom to the world. And the Son comes down here, and through his tantric method, by offering his body, he realizes Sunyata as well, and balances the karmic account of humanity and the universe, all beings of the universe, into zero. Then you have the physical manifestation incarnation of Sunyata. That is the last step. That is, you can say, the Dharmakaya step. So the Sunyata incarnation, the Holy Spirit incarnation is the Dharmakaya step in the three bodies, in the three kayas. And when we realize the Dharmakaya within the Sunyata incarnation a time period, which is before the rapture, during the end times before the rapture. So after the Sunyata has been completed, after the Dharmakaya has been completed, then the church raptures, and then we can have the tribulation, and humanity can go through their understanding of Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmakaya. They can go through that. They can go through that step by step spiritual awakening and learning model that has been easily modeled for us to not be lost in this sea, in this ocean of chaos and suffering. Right now, we are in the ocean of suffering. We are in the ocean of chaos. We are in the ocean of dark and light. And we haven't properly distinguished dark and light. We haven't properly done that. So when we are in this current chaotic world system that we are in, that's your Nirmanakaya. That's your first body. That's your Nirmanakaya. And then in the tribulation, or after the rapture, we're going to have the tribulation begin. In the tribulation, that is your Sambhogakaya space. So your Nirmanakaya space is your sleep state space, when you are just functioning in this duality without any awareness of duality, without any awareness of the dark and light. When you are awakened in your Sambhogakaya, that's also your redemption plan given to you by Yeshua, Son of God, because he gained the redemption plan for you. And now you can have the redemption plan and you can be redeemed. It's not that he has paid for your sins and you don't have to do any work, which is like this false doctrine propagated in Christianity. But Yeshua, Son of God, gained the redemption plan, gained the atonement for your sins, and now he can give it to you so you can atone for your sins. So it's a plan given to you. It's something spiritually gained so that we can be taught and achieve our resurrection and achieve our enlightenment in the tribulation. And in the tribulation, you'll see both. You will see the resurrection and the enlightenment, like what Father and Son has done, resurrection and enlightenment. You will see both of that manifest in the tribulation, because as in the book of Revelation, they have said that many people will be beheaded. And that can be directly seen as the resurrection system of Yeshua, Son of God. And many people will achieve enlightenment. Many people will learn with their mind and achieve enlightenment, and then can exit out of this world. But you have the resurrection model manifesting in the tribulation as like the beheading of the saints. So today's topic about the Great Tribulation is understanding that the tribulation is your Sambhogakaya space. It is your speech. So you have the body, speech, and mind. You have the Nirmanakaya as your body, Sambhogakaya as your speech, and Dharmakaya as your mind. So to map it, Lord Buddha Shakyamuni did the Nirmanakaya body. Yeshua, Son of God, did the Sambhogakaya speech, and the Dharmakaya mind is done by the Holy Spirit, and it is also the last phase of our entire 6,000 years. So we are expected to be in the mind level. We are expected to be in the highest level in terms of the three kayas, in terms of the three bodies, because we are in the end times. And basically, we have the entire 6,000 years to study from, to gain our Dharmakaya, to gain our Sunyata, to gain our highest knowledge. And we have all the experiences, and we have all this history that we can go back and learn from. We have plenty of knowledge, basically all the knowledge of dark and light to pull from and to achieve our awakening by looking back at the 6,000 years. Your tribulation will take you to the Dharmakaya, but you cannot have the Dharmakaya without the Sambhogakaya, and you cannot have the Sambhogakaya without the Nirmanakaya, because in the Sambhogakaya speech stage, we are actually giving a lot of disclosure. We're giving a lot of testimony. We are deciphering dark and light. We are distinguishing dark and light, and we are not confusing the dark with the light and light with the dark. We are not confusing the ruling elite to be good people. We are clearly seeing the ruling elite for who they are. They're reptilians, they're demonics, they're fallen angels, they're evil spirits, and they are leading humanity astray, and they are extremely evil, and they harm human beings and our planet on an everyday basis. So we are seeing that and recognizing that clearly. And that's your Sambhogakaya phase. So in the Nirmanakaya phase, you wouldn't know that we live in a dualistic world, that we live in a world infested with demonics, that you would believe in all the Bill Gates and the Steve Jobs and celebrities and politicians are good people. That's what you would believe. That's your Nirmanakaya. That's the generation phase. And we are not meant to be doing anything with the Nirmanakaya anyways, because it's still generating, it's still growing. The fruit's not there. We haven't gained the fruit, because in Buddhism you have the ground, path, and fruit. So ground is like the ground, which is the Nirmanakaya. Path is the Sambhogakaya, where you go in and you learn everything about the ground, and then at the end you gain a fruit. So your fruit is either you go to heaven or you go to hell. So you gain a fruit at the end. So that's part of the ground, path, and fruit. So in the Nirmanakaya, it's still growing. It's nothing to do in the Nirmanakaya, because it's a tiny seed and it's still growing, and we're just letting it grow. So that's basically your Nirmanakaya. So technically, you can get away with not doing anything in the Nirmanakaya, but eventually your time will come where you will be awakened and you will be initiated into your tantric space, and you will enter your Dharmakaya space, and you will start giving testimony. Because the Sambhogakaya space in the Great Tribulation is the most important phase. It is the place to achieve your transformation, to use all the knowledge of the body, use all the knowledge of the Nirmanakaya in order to educate yourself. So Nirmanakaya is like your duality university. You can go into Nirmanakaya and learn about the true nature of this world. Everything that is hidden in plain sight is there, but you do not see it because you're not initiated into that kind of knowledge, and you're not initiated into looking at the world with those eyes or that mentality or that perception. Yet you're living in a completely different psychological landscape in the Nirmanakaya. But when you enter the Sambhogakaya, you enter a brand new psychological landscape. And you have to develop that, and you have to understand all of these testimonies that we are giving. You have to understand what MK Ultra is. You have to understand what the All-Seeing Eye is. You have to understand Project Mockingbird. You have to understand what the CIA is doing. You have to understand the agendas that the celebrities are playing out. You have to understand cloning. You have to understand real droning. You have to understand the various religious systems. You have to understand where war comes from. And everything is right in front of us. And we have to educate ourselves in the Sambhogakaya space. We are given that opportunity to educate ourselves. So it's a completely different psychological landscape. You are training your mind to look at the world for what it really is. But in the Nirmanakaya, everything goes. Everything goes. And that's why the Nirmanakaya is the space of Yahweh, is the space of Lord Buddha Shakyamuni. Because the Nirmanakaya is very intense. It allows the manifestation of dark and light. And the dark is very intense. The light is very intense too. The light is like the Son of God who achieved resurrection. And the dark is like Satan that rapes children and fries babies and eats them. So you have like this two intense polarity of dark and light. And only our Father in heaven can host that. Only our Father in heaven can host something as powerful as Yeshua in terms of light and as powerful as Satan in terms of the dark. So only our Father can do that. So that's why you have the Nirmanakaya ground as Yahweh's space, the Shakyamuni Lord Buddha's space, to arise or to give birth or to make visible all things dark and light. And then in the Sambhogakaya space, you have the Yeshua Son of God space in the Sambhogakaya space, because you actually have to go through the Mother Tantra, like what Yeshua Son of God went through at the last end of his mission on earth, the last 3 years of his mission on earth, after he came back to his birth country. From the east, from India, Nepal, Tibet, he came back to his birth country, and the last 3 years he did his Mother Tantra. So he went through a lot of persecution, and he had to do his crucifixion, and he had to do his resurrection, and then go to heaven. So that last 3 years of Yeshua, Son of God, Jesus Christ, is a direct model of your great tribulation. It doesn't mean that you're going to go through a crucifixion, but you will go through something similar. You will go through spiritual persecutions, and you'll basically have to perform your spiritual tantra in a charnel ground where people will actually come to try and kill you. People will try and hurt you. You will deal with demons directly. You will deal with the fallen angels. You will deal with the evil spirits. You will directly deal with the demons. Then you'll realize you're living in this charnel ground world system. So it's a real thing. So it's not like just a spiritual concept, like when Buddhists were doing the Mother Tantra, which is like the charnel ground practice, is called the Cho Tantra or Cheda Sadhana. Buddhists would go into like a literal graveyard, and they would do a Cho Tantra in a graveyard. They would like literally go to a graveyard at night and perform a Cho Tantra to overcome the fear of demons. That's what they would do, literally. But now, as a humanity, we don't have to do that, because the demonic infestation is so great that you will realize your own body is a charnel ground. You realize that you inhabit demons, that you have eaten aborted fetuses, that you have been injected with dead babies, aborted fetuses, that your body is a charnel ground. You realize that. So you perform Cho Tantra in your body, you perform Cho Tantra in your space, like you don't have to go to a graveyard. So, and Yeshua Son of God did the same thing. Yeshua Son of God was doing his Cho Tantra. So he was like literally died. He literally died and went into a tomb, and he also went into hell to save his prophet. So that's all part of the charnel ground system, because Yeshua Son of God was literally dead in a charnel ground. He was literally in a graveyard. So that's like the highest level of Tantra one can perform, because it's a literal thing. It's not conceptual. It's not like the enlightenment mind space, but it is like a literal thing. Like you go through death itself. You go into a tomb, you go into a graveyard, and then you resurrect from that space. So that's your Sambhogakaya. So if you look at Yeshua Son of God's life, he had a short but a very intense and fast Cho Tantra, Mother Tantra at the end. So you can look at that, study that, and understand that the Great Tribulation will be modeled after that, or is modeled after that. But that's what Cho Tantra or Mother Tantra is. You perform your spiritual transformation in the charnel ground. So the Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, the three bodies, they're interchangeable. So sometimes you will see the Father show up as the Dharmakaya. Sometimes you'll see the Son show up as the Dharmakaya. And sometimes you'll see the Holy Spirit show up as the Dharmakaya. So it's interchangeable. And it's not like Father is the Dharmakaya, Holy Spirit is the Nirmanakaya, Son is the Sambhogakaya. There isn't a designated body system, but you will see it is interchangeable. After we go through our Sambhogakaya phase in the tribulation, then you enter the Dharmakaya, which is our Father in heaven. You enter Dharmakaya. So Dharmakaya is like Sunyata. It's the emptiness, it's the zero. It's the neutral space, or it's beyond neutral even, because it's zero. Shakyamuni Lord Buddha has said that there is no reference point for sunyata. You cannot speak about sunyata in terms of reference point. Like sunyata is dharmakaya, sunyata is nirmanakaya, sunyata is sambhogakaya. Like there is no reference point for sunyata because sunyata is zero. You cannot conceptualize, you cannot define it. You cannot say it's neutral. You cannot say it's positive, negative, or neutral. You cannot say it's in the middle. It's not, because sunyata is like beyond the shore. So you cannot conceptualize it. There is no reference point for sunyata, and also there is no foundation. So it's without foundation. Sunyata is without foundation. So it's like the zero. It's the zero. So zero is without foundation. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 has a foundation, but zero has no foundation. It's zero. Sunyata is like beyond the shore. It's like has no reference point. You get to the sunyata knowledge, and the sunyata is basically your perfection of wisdom. So it's not wisdom, but the perfection of wisdom. So everything that we learn in the Sambhogakaya is like the wisdom. We're learning wisdom, we're learning knowledge, and we are trying to distinguish dark and light. Like how Eve could not distinguish dark and light. Eve was tricked by Satan. He was tricked by the serpent because she could not distinguish dark and light. So that's why she was tricked. So humanity is in that Eve state currently, and we are constantly being tricked by Satan. We are always being tricked by Satan. So the humanity is like an Eve consciousness, or the Eve storyline has not, like, it's not an ancient script thing that is like, oh, this happened to Eve. It's currently happening to everyone right now. We are in the Eve consciousness. We are in that state of that we do not have the ability to distinguish dark and light. So, and then we have to go through like a fall. We have to go through the fall, and from the fall, we discover dark and light. We discover the true nature of dark and light, because we suffer when we fall. We suffer, and we don't want to suffer, and we try to figure out how can I get rid of the suffering. And through that, you go through this massive spiritual purification journey, and then you come out into the Dharmakaya and you realize dark and light. So that's how you can understand it. And with the tribulation, what I wanted to say for the Sambhogakaya space that we are in the tribulation is showing up as the Sambhogakaya, because everything fits perfectly with the Sambhogakaya phase of the tribulation. So the Sambhogakaya is related to the speech. It corresponds to the speech. When you have the body, mind, and speech, the Trinity, the body, mind, and speech. The Sambhogakaya directly corresponds to the speech. So you have the body is the head in Buddhism, and speech is your speech, and your mind is in your heart. In the Western system, they teach you like, this is the mind is here, but in Buddhism, the mind is in the heart. The mind is here. So you have your body, speech, and mind. The speech is important in the tribulation because you are given that opportunity to use your speech, because only through your speech you can enter into the Dharmakaya. You can enter the mind space. So you cannot enter the mind without the speech. Like if I don't tell you the truth, your mind won't change. How you think won't change. Only through the speech we speak the truth, and we give the truth to people, and their mind changes. So speech is very powerful in that terms, that it can either lead you to hell or it can lead you to heaven. So that's why the ruling elite, they use spell casting in terms of psychological mind control, so that they can put that black magic in your head through words and through speech, and they can trap you in this matrix. They can trap you in the death system. They can trap you in the charnel ground by using speech, by using the power of speech, the power of words, the power of spell casting. So that's why, because the dark forces are using the speech to influence you, using words to influence you. That's why you have to use your words as well to break the spell. So everything is the speech, everything is the word. We change our mind, we change our thoughts because of the words. So someone can teach you an incorrect doctrine and it will change your mind. That's a black magic. And then someone will come and teach you the correct doctrine and your mind will change again. And that's you breaking the black magic of the false doctrine. That's why the Sambhogakaya speech space is so important, and which is also the disclosure and testimony space, because it is related to the speech. The speech will transform your mind, will transform your thought. The correct doctrine, disclosure, showing you the truth, will transform your mind, will transform the false reality that you're living in, will transform it into truth. And that's only done through speaking. You cannot do it any other way. There's no any other way to do it. You have to read a lot of stuff that is written down in words. You have to read and you have to speak the truth. You have to tell the truth to other people. You have to help with the awakening. Through the speech, you can enter the Dharmakaya, you can enter the mind space, because if I speak, then I cannot enter into your head. So the entrance into your head is through the speech. That's how it works with the body, speech, and mind. So I can enter your mind through the speech. In the Sambhogakaya phase, in the Great Tribulation, you are given this amazing tantric space, which is the Mother Tantra, which is like very strong. Mother Tantra is like, elites are afraid of the Mother Tantra. Mother Tantra is so deadly. Elites fear the Mother Tantra. Elites fear the Great Mother, because the elites are based on ignorance. They're based on deception. They're based on inverting the truth. So they invert the truth, and Mother is the truth. So they're inverting the truth. So in the Father Tantra, they can tell all the lies, because Father is not based on wisdom directly, but the Mother is directly based on wisdom. Father is based on form, and Mother is based on wisdom. Father is bliss, Mother is emptiness. Father is time, Mother is space. You can tell a lot of lies in the Father Tantra, in the Nirmanakaya, but in the Mother Tantra, it's a completely different landscape, because you are directly working with wisdom. You're not working with the generation anymore. Now you're entering the university that the Father Tantra built, and the Mother will enter, and the Mother will start teaching you. So the Mother Tantra is extremely strong. It's a hardcore spiritual Tantra, and it's directly to do with wisdom. So the elites are afraid of the Mother Tantra, because they're used to the Father Tantra, where they could just mess around, fool humanity, do their wars, play with their gun toys, kill people, deceive people, rape, murder. They could do all that. It was like a fun space for them. Oh, we can do whatever we want. It's a generation phase. But in the Mother Tantra, there's accountability. Now, in the Mother Tantra, all of those things that you did in your ignorance will be revealed in the Mother Tantra. So the elites are really afraid of the Great Mother, because the elites are ignorant, and the Mother is wisdom. It's a direct, basically it's like the wisdom is there to eat the ignorance. The Father Tantra is easy, and it's also represented by the color white, the white Bodhichitta. It's a little bit easy. But with the Mother Tantra, is represented by the red. It's the blood, which is like the menses of the woman. That's your Sambhogakaya, that's your Mother Tantra. The semen, the Bodhichitta, the semen that generates from your brain, that's the white Bodhichitta of the man, of the masculine. So the Father Tantra is like the enjoying, relaxing, enjoying phase, where you're generating the Bodhichitta and having a lot of fun, and which is directly seen within the ruling elite, because they're obsessed with sex. You have the Bodhichitta, the fun, the sex, do whatever you want, space, which is like the easy space of the Father. And the Mother is different. It's the menses, it's the blood. So it's a little bit different, and people don't want to deal with the Mother Tantra, but that's what we get in the tribulation, the Mother Tantra. If you're a hardcore Tantric practitioner, Mother Tantra is your space. I love the Mother Tantra. It's so stunning. The Mother Tantra is so powerful. It's so transformative, and everything you do in the Mother Tantra feels like a miracle. It's like so transformative. And only through the Mother Tantra, Sambhogakaya, you get to the Dharmakaya. And without the Mother Tantra, you cannot know all the knowledge. You will be constantly tricked and deceived. And you think you're cool and beautiful and awesome, and you realize you're just a stupid, consuming fool. That's what you realize. And only the Mother can give you that knowledge, that you are a stupid, consuming fool, that you don't know anything. That your car and your house and your fashion outfits mean nothing. Like you're just a massive dumb idiot, And that's what the mother will show you. They're like, you're a dumb idiot, wake up. Come out of being loosed 24/7. So mother will show you that. And that's why the mother energy is, it's protective, because it's the mother energy. It protects you from the demons. It's like, don't be loosed by those people. These people are fools. Uh, they are siphoning your energy. They put you in the slave race system, and you're just a slave. You're just a dumb consumer. Your education means nothing. Everything they are teaching you is false. Wake up. So the mother is there to protect you and wake you up. And so the mother will show you. This is a false matrix. It's a channel ground. So learn from me and achieve your Dharmakaya so you can exit the channel ground. So you have the protective energy of the mother, and you also have the fierce, strong, tantric, chotantra space of the mother. And the mother teaches with love and humor and fear. So the mother tantra is also known as the fear tantra. So the whole premise of the mother tantra doing your practice in the channel ground is to overcome your fears. So the mother will help you transform your fear. The mother will help you see this reality for what it is, overcoming your deceptions, not being a dumb, stupid matrix fool, but to wake up into wisdom and knowledge, and to exit this reality, to exit this channel ground, because Father is going to destroy this world, because it is purely demonic. So that's why we have been given this gift of the Mother Tantra. We have been given this gift of the Sambhogakaya, attained and gained by the Father and Son. And we have been given this gift so we can properly utilize the Pragya Paramita and the Sunyata, and we can achieve our transformation and exit the channel ground, which is this world, or exit Egypt, which is the death or debt, slavery, and rapture, and enter the Dharmakaya, which is heaven. So there are many people in this world that I have, like when I was researching and listening to thousands of testimonies of all the satanic ritual abuses, all the MK Ultra monarch experimental based programs that people have been a part of, the people that have been born into these elite groups, and they have no choice over their lives, over their gender, over anything, over their body and mind, and they are raised in those environments, and they have been through many experimental based systems and mind control, psychological operation, whether it's like bleaching your hair and bleaching your eyeballs, or performing surgery in your body, or whether it's psychological experimentation. They have done all of those things, including ritual androgyny, that all the ruling elite groups are a part of, that they have no choice over their gender, and they are raised under the Baphomet gender system, which is the transgender. So many people that have been through these experimental systems, they need to speak up, because we are in the Sambhogakaya phase. We are no more in the Father Tantra. We are no more in the Nirmanakaya phase. We are actually in the Mother Tantra, so the Sambhogakaya phase. And the Sambhogakaya is the speech, and you have to start speaking. And when you speak your truth, when you speak about your experiences, doesn't matter how weird it is, how abstract it is, because nothing is abstract, because the mother, she is sunyata, she is zero. So there's nothing more abstract than sunyata. There's nothing more abstract than zero. And through this abstract knowledge of zero, we exit this reality. So nothing is abstract, nothing is weird, and nothing is crazy in this world. The only thing crazy is that you being held down in your black magic by the demonic forces, and that you are never able to speak up, and you're never able to tell your truth to the world. Because when you speak your truth, you help other people wake up. Because there are like only 70 million people that has been through MK Ultra, and it will help other people wake up. It's not like 2 or 3 people talking about this weird sci-fi concept, but let's say 70 million people have been through this, or you can see the entire whole planet Earth is part of this MK Ultra mind control. So when you speak your truth and you speak about all the experiences that you have been through, everything they have put you through, those are all real things. You have to be able to speak it because you have experienced it, so you can speak it and people will understand, because these are abstract concepts. Sometimes it's difficult to understand, and it's like non-existent for a ordinary person. So you actually have to come in and speak about something that is so difficult to speak about, and something so difficult to convey to the population. But when you tell your truth, when you speak about what you have been through, it doesn't feel as abstract, and it also grounds something that is very, let's say, highly intelligent and difficult to ground, something that is outside of this world system that we are used to. And you are able to speak of that and make that abstract thing that seems that it is outside this world, you can pull it into this world and make it real and give it a form and a name. These things are happening outside the human mind system. So what makes a human being is completely different to what's happening, to what some other humans are experiencing in this world. That it's like two different worlds living in the same ground. What the ruling elite are doing is basically a sci-fi fictional space, and only if you have personally experienced it, you can speak about it, articulate it, and make it known to the world, and make something so abstract, so sci-fi, so unbelievable, you can make it real and bring it into this world. And that's your job. You have to pull it from the outside. You have to pull it from the mind space. You have to pull it from your deep conscious, subconscious, unconscious. You have to pull it from there and bring it out into the light. That's what we have to do. And that's what Lord Buddha Shakyamuni did. He meditated under this tree for 6 years and realized sunyata, realized the knowledge of zero. So something so abstract as zero, it doesn't even exist. Lord Buddha Shakyamuni realized that. He pulled it out from the blackness and brought it out into the light and taught and gave us the knowledge of sunyata. And the people that have been through these super soldier programs, have been through these cloning programs, MK Ultra, and they have like traveled to other worlds, they have traveled to other world systems. All the disclosure that is coming, it's so important for us to realize that those world systems, or the systems of Satan, it's not abstract, that we are able to bring that into this world and ground it, learn from it, understand it, transmute it, realize the Dharmakaya, and check out of this world. That's what we have to do, because those things have happened to us, and those we have been witness to those things, and that's what Father wants us to do. We are witnesses, and we have to give testimony. In the Hebrew scriptures, if you read the Hebrew scriptures that are outside the Bible, you will see that Father is mentioned as someone that keeps record for everything. So every individual human being bears a witness testimony, bears a record for our Father. No matter who you are, you bear a record for him. Everything keeps a record for our Father, including like stones and trees and plants. Everything keeps a record for our Father. So every individual human, if a stone is keeping a record for our Father, imagine how important the record that our Father has given to every human being. So that's why we have to speak our truth and unravel what our Father has hidden inside of you, and the truth that he has given you, so that you can speak your truth to the world, and you can educate and enlighten us about all the other systems that are part of the world, part of our world, but it seems like it's very fictional and abstract. So we have to give testimony of what our Father has shared with you, and you have to speak about it. And what you have been through, it's not something that just someone put you through that. You are actually going into those spaces and bringing information. You're extracting information from those extremely abstract spaces. And you are meant to speak of those things and not hide, because nothing is hidden in this world. The entire angelic system and the entire fallen angelic system know everything about you. So our job is to speak our truth to the heavenly system. Our job is to speak our truth to the universal system. And when we do that, we free ourselves from the trap of the demons. We free ourselves from the trap of the fallen angels and Satan, because they want to put you through those things, and they want you to shut up and keep quiet, so they can continuously harass, abuse you, And even if you speak up, no one's going to believe you. That's what they will make you think. But your job is to speak up. You're not speaking to humanity. You're not speaking to the unbelievers. You're speaking to the believers. You're speaking to God. You're speaking to Yeshua, Son of God, Jesus Christ. So when you give your testimony, if you're afraid, or if you doubt yourself, and if you're afraid, and if you're heavily programmed, and if you're heavily traumatized, just think about giving your testimony to God, giving your testimony to Father, giving your testimony to Yeshua, Son of God. Because it is written in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, that Yeshua, Son of God, is our faithful witness. So give your testimony to Yeshua, Son of God, Jesus Christ. Give your testimony to him, because he is your faithful witness. So that's how you can approach it spiritually, so that you are able to speak about what has happened to you. Also to be able to overcome the strong black magic that you shouldn't speak up, that no one will believe you, but Jesus Christ already knows. You only have to speak it out loud, and that's all you have to do, and that's part of your redemption plan. And that's why Christ died for you, and that's why the Son of God died for you, so that you can speak your truth in your Great Tribulation Sambhogakaya phase. So with the Kala Chakra mantra, so there's a Kala Chakra mantra, as I have previously said, that the Kala Chakra deity is Lord Buddha Shakyamuni, and Lord Buddha Shakyamuni is an emanation of Yahweh, our Father in heaven. Shakyamuni, Lord Buddha, has directly to do with the Kala Chakra, which means the time wheel, which directly corresponds to the end times. And the Kala Chakra is the time that rules over everyone and everything. So everyone is under the influence and rulership of time, except our Father, except Kala Chakra himself is not under the influence of time. In Buddhism, you will read that the Buddha is to do with time, and only the Buddha is not influenced by time, but everyone under the Buddha is influenced by time. So because in the Hebrew scriptures, you will see no one knows the hour, so only our Father knows the hour, so that you can directly connect the dots with Shakyamuni Lord Buddha, with the Kala Chakra Tantra that has the time influence over all creatures of the entire universe. So in the Kala Chakra, there's a mantra for the Kala Chakra, which is called Om Aham Ho Ham Sha Malavaraya Ham Pe. So that's like your mantra for the Kala Chakra. And you will see Om Aham Ho. So you will see the body, speech, mind, and then you have the wisdom added in the Kala Chakra mantra. So usually you will see the Trinity. You'll see the body, speech, and mind, purify body, speech, and mind, body, speech, and mind. You will see that. In the general Buddhism, you will see that, the body, speech, and mind. But with the Kala Chakra mantra, you will see the body, speech, mind, and wisdom. So you have the fourth element added there. With the body, speech, and mind, when you go through the Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, and then you have the wisdom component. So after you the body, speech, and mind, then you can understand, then you can have the proper wisdom of everything, of the dark and light. You can have the proper wisdom of everything. So all of that, you have like with the Nirmanakaya, you have the totality of the dark and light, which our Father Tantra has hosted as its ground to manifest all good and evil. And then with the Sambhogakaya, we are differentiating good and evil, what good and evil is. We're differentiating duality and gaining the knowledge of duality with the Sambhogakaya. With the Dharmakaya, we are knowing how to transform good and evil, that there is no good and evil. We don't have this duality split, and we are transforming that and turning that into emptiness, Sunyata and Dharmakaya. So when you have all three, when you have the Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmakaya, when you can properly do everything properly, then you have the wisdom, then you have the correct wisdom. So you have to complete the whole program. You have to complete the three bodies until you get to the wisdom. So you have the Om Aham Ho. So you have the body, speech, mind, wisdom of the Kala Chakra. So that's how you approach wisdom, and that's how you approach the completion of the wisdom, is you acquire the knowledge of the body, speech, and mind. You acquire the Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmakaya. So when you have all of those threes mastered and you understand it completely, and then you can say that you have wisdom. and that's like the mother as well. And after the Om Ah Hum Ho, you have the Hamsha, which is Kala Chakra and Kala Chakra's wisdom consort, Vishwamata, which is called the Universal Mother. So you have Hamsha and Malavara. Yeah, Malavara is like the 4 elements and the element of space, which is the 5 elements. So your space and the 4 elements: water, fire, wind, and earth. The Kala Chakra mantra is very powerful, because if you're looking to purify everything in your life, which you have to, Kala Chakra mantra is perfect, and it's called the 10 powerful seed mantra, because it is very powerful, because you're not just doing body, mind, and speech purification, but you're doing body, mind, speech, you're purifying wisdom, you're purifying method and wisdom, father and mother. You're purifying your own inner method and wisdom, your own inner masculine feminine, which is the method and wisdom that you apply properly. And then you have the 4 elements that you're purifying, and you're purifying the space as well. So your own personal space, the earth space, your own mandala. So you're purifying everything. So it's just like, if you're doing the Kala Chakra mantra purification, it's particularly very powerful for that. Many people that have been through extreme experimental based programs, that have had extreme experiences that are ungrounded, that feels fictional and fantasy based, just imagine that if you really went through that, then no, Christ knows what you went through, Father knows what you went through, they see everything. But and imagine that you're giving testimony to Yeshua, Son of God, the faithful witness. And when you speak your truth, you're able to release yourself from the spell and the black magic, that you're being held down to not speak, that you're being held down in wisdom and knowledge, that you are kept stuck, you are kept in one spot. It's like, don't you dare speak, don't you dare move from this place, shut up and stay here. So you have to break that spell. And that's like the demonic satanic energy, that's the bully mentality, that you have to be victorious over it. That's your personal battle with the dark and light. So you can look at it as your personal battle with Lucifer, Satan, fallen angels, or you can look at it in terms of like your personal spiritual battle with dark and light. So you are actually transforming the dark and light, and you are achieving a complete wisdom of dark and light. You are separating dark and light and achieving your complete knowledge and wisdom of that, and further taking that and transforming it into sunyata, into non-dual tantra. So you can approach it that way. So if you feel like, oh, I don't want to deal with these demons, or if you feel afraid, just think about like your own personal spiritual battle with your own personal dark and light. That's what you're dealing with. And that's more powerful and more potent, because you are taking responsibility and transforming your space and transforming yourself. And you're not saying, Satan did this to me, or the fallen angels did this to me. You're not just putting the blame outside of you and you're pointing fingers and because of you this happened to me. But you are taking responsibility, and you're saying, I'm going to transform my dark and light. I'm going to get into the Dharmakaya space. I'm going to rapture and go to heaven. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to work with the dark and light forces, work with the duality force of this world, and transform my life, and spiritually transform and get to the Dharmakaya, get to the Sunyata space. So you can approach it that way. That's even more effective, because you're taking complete responsibility for your own transformation. And that's what you have to do to get to the Dharmakaya.